Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by SmokinSteve's today. Haven't been on here for a while. Haven't made a lot of videos here lately, but we're going to try to get back into it. Today we're going to be smoking up a meatloaf. And I've smoked a lot of meatloafs up in the past, and I got a playlist of all the meatloafs that I've smoked, and I've tried to do them all a little bit different. And they're all good, guys. They're all good. We're gonna put a little different twist on this one today. We're gonna show you how to get it all prepped up, and how to get it all smoked up, and it's gonna be some good eating. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Get this guy started and get him all prepped up and get him formed up and ready for that smoker. And guys, while I'm thinking about it, we're going to be smoking with Bear Mountain pellets today. Got a pellet smoker. We're going to be smoking her up on the RecTeq BullsEye, and like I say, we're going to be using Bear Mountain pellets. That's all I ever use is Bear Mountain pellets. And I had one guy leave me a comment here a few weeks ago that said he's having problems regulating his temperature on his smoker, on his pellet smoker, and he said he switched to Bear Mountain pellets. No more problems with regulating temperature. I guess the Bear Mountain took care of his problem. Now Bear Mountain's about the only pellet I've ever used. When I first started out, I started using a cheap pellet, the cheapest pellet I could find, and boy, you could tell it. It stunk as it burnt. You didn't want to be out there by the grill because it smelled so bad, and it left a kind of a nasty flavor on the food. It was just a dirty burn, and it just wasn't pleasant at all. And once I switched to Bear Mountain, I'm never going to anything else because it's good stuff. It got a lot of different flavors. Burns clean, burns hot. It's just a pleasure using it. So I wanted to share that with you, and I'll have a link in the description if you want to price that out and pick some of that up, along with a bunch of other links that I have with some of my favorite stuff. So let's go ahead and get this thing prepped up and get to going. Okay, here's what we're starting out with. We're going to have some ground pork and ground beef. And ideally, should be 2 parts ground beef and 1 part ground pork. But in this case, we got 1 pound of ground pork and 1.34 pounds of ground beef. So it's a little bit short of 2 to 1, but we're going to go with this. This is what we got on hand, so we're going to use this and show you what else we're going to do. Okay, here's what we got going in this meatloaf. Whole bunch of stuff. But we're starting out with our pork and our beef, as I showed earlier. We got 2 large eggs, and those are going to be beaten in a little bowl. We got a ½ cup of grated Parmesan cheese, 2 tablespoons of parsley, 2 teaspoons of salt, ½ a teaspoon of black pepper, ½ cup of milk, ½ a cup of breadcrumbs, and it calls for 2 cloves of garlic, but we're using the minced garlic, and ¼ cup of onion. And for the glaze, we're going to be using 1 cup of barbecue sauce, 1/3 cup of honey, and that's right, grape jelly, 1/3 cup of grape jelly. And it's all going to be good. So we're going to commence to mixing this all up. Okay, we've got all the ingredients thrown in the bowl here, all except for our 2 beaten eggs. And we're going to go ahead and put that in now. This is just one recipe that we like to use. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I've cooked several meatloafs and tried to mix it up a little bit and use different recipes. So be sure to check out that playlist, and I'm sure there's one in there for you, and try them all. They're all good. So what we're gonna do is get in here and get dirty. Get that all mixed up good. Oh yeah. Get that pork and beef all mixed up. Get all them goodies mixed in there. Once we get this all mixed up, we're going to get it formed into a loaf. Then we'll be firing that RecTeq BullsEye up. Get that up to temperature. We'll be letting this guy smoke for a little bit, and then we'll probably crank that temperature up. Finish the cook-off. So it's getting mixed in there pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and continue to mix here and get it all mixed up really good. Okay guys, we're going to go ahead and form that meatloaf right on this screen here. Like to use this when I'm cooking meatloaf or fish or something like that. It's got a real fine mesh to it. The stuff tends to stay on top and it doesn't fall through. And I'll have a link in the description under the video if you want to check these out. So what we're going to do is go ahead and get this meat tossed on here, just like so. And we're going to form it into a loaf. And we don't want to pack this real tight. We want to leave it loose. And we want to try to keep the depth of the meatloaf the same from one end to the next so it all cooks evenly. So I think that's going to do it, guys. Nice little loaf right there. So I'm going to go out and get that BullsEye fired up. Get it up to temp. And we're going to get to cooking here in a little bit. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and make our way out here to the lanai. And here's my two RecTeqs. One being the 700, that's the big one. And the RecTeq BullsEye. And we're going to be cooking on the BullsEye today. Here's the setup. We got that mesh inside, and I got a drip tray underneath the grate here to catch any drippings. So let's go ahead and get this baby fired up. Last cook was at 450. We're going to start out at 225. Let that meatloaf take on some smoke. Like I said, we're cooking with Bear Mountain pellets. And what we're using is bowl flavor. So let's let this guy get up to temperature and we'll get that meatloaf on in a minute. Okay guys, we're gonna go ahead and mix up this sauce that we're gonna put on there, this glaze with the grape jelly and stuff. We're gonna go ahead and get that mixed up while that grill's heating up. Okay, I already got the cup of barbecue sauce dumped in the measuring cup here. Now you can use your favorite barbecue sauce, whatever you want. And I got a third cup of jelly right here, grape jelly. That's going in. Then we got a third cup of honey that we got to add to it yet. Okay, may not even have a third a cup of honey in this bottle, but we're going to come as close as we can. This will help add a little sweetness to that meatloaf along with the grape jelly. It's really going to be good. So in goes the honey. And the only thing left is mixing this guy up. And we'll be using that a little bit later in the cook. And I'll show you what we're going to do with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this all mixed up, and it'll be ready to go. And by then that smoker will be up to temperature, and we'll go ahead and get that meatloaf thrown on. Okay, we got our meatloaf in the grill. The grill's up to 225, and we got our sauce sitting right here. And what we're gonna do is put about half of it or so on there. Kind of get that covered a little bit. About like so. Then we'll be saving that glaze for a little later. The rest of it. We're good to go. So let's get her closed up and let her smoke away. Okay, this meatloaf's been smoking for about an hour, and it's showing the internal temperature being at 96 degrees. Let's go ahead and take a peek at it. It's looking pretty good. The glaze or that sauce on there is still pretty much liquid. So we're going to go ahead and crank that temperature up. It's from 225. Let's go over here to temperature display. We're going to crank that up to 350. And go back to meat temperature. So we're going to go ahead and let it cook at 350. Okay guys, this meatloaf just hit 160 degrees. Oh wow, look at that. That's looking good. So we're going to go ahead and take it inside and cut it up and be doing a taste test. Okay, here she is. I got it pulled inside. This baby's looking good. So we're going to cut into it. I'm going to do a little taste test, see what it's like. Okay, got my little piece cut off right here. As you can see, it's got a little smoke ring all the way around, even on the bottom. Okay, right here, got my little bite. We're going in. That's delicious. A little bit of smoky flavor from the Bear Mountain pellets. That flavor is good. That glaze we put on there with that grape jelly and honey, that is good stuff. Really good. Now I was going to reglaze that meatloaf about halfway through the cook or so, but I chose not to do that because it's still pretty wet. After I cranked up to 350 and it was still wet at that point, and it cooked up nice when I turned it up to 350. So I never did add it the second time, and it's good stuff. I'm gonna get me another little bite. It's that good. It's gonna be good for leftovers. Guys, you can fix this up a lot of different ways. You can go ahead and lace it in bacon. I laced a previous meatloaf in bacon, and it was really good. Be sure to check that playlist out. There's a lot of different ways to cook them up. I'm going in again. It's good. Guys, give me a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe and share this video. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you on the next one.